Hi, Dr. Joseph Martin here again. Good to see you again. Well, obviously, you're seeing me. I haven't seen you yet, but I hope to meet you all at some point. The topic for today's discussion is athlete of the spirit. Athlete of the spirit is how to create further, deeper internal courage for yourself in a time where there's really tremulous tipping point times on the planet. There's unceasing depression, seemingly. There's a fog of materialism that is like clouding people's minds and their motivations. And this is a time when true spiritual search and questing and yoga and meditation really have gone off the rails, seemingly, because they've been sidelined by just materialism and the need for just less kind of true inner searching. Well, athlete of the spirit, that's a great, great title or concept, isn't it? It comes down to me, at least, through Yogananda and some other great teachers, including Martin Luther King Jr. And this is a time when everyone in the athletic world worldwide is getting ready for the Winter Games in Sochi in Russia. I myself happen to be the recipient of good luck to know some Canadian Olympians and Olympians from other countries as well who have won gold medals and silver medals in past Olympic Games, summer and winter. And part of my great delight in this life has been to be a sports psychologist and help people visualize and kinesthetically feel their abilities to such a degree that they become international athletes of well repute and professionals in Ironman in Hawaii or even in Canadian Olympic teams. It's been a great delight, and I have learned so much from them. And I've learned what it takes for an individual to develop uh, in the spiritual Olympics, is what I call it, the personal spiritual Olympics, what it takes for any athlete of the body, of the mind, of the soul, and the spirit to get deeper with themselves, go more internal, and to develop that infallible courage, that ruthless, fearless courage that it takes to stand strong in tremulous times in the world or just in terms of competition on an athletic level in the highest realms of international athleticism, particularly the Olympics, but there are others as well. What does it take? Well, first of all, you have to be honest with yourself. If you can't look at your shadow and your failures and be open and be vulnerable and be self reflective and be just fearlessly, ruthlessly honest with yourself about your shortcomings and what the skill sets are that you need to develop more, and also the emotional clarity and unity and intensity with your internal kind of feeling state, and also the mental discipline that it takes to stay strong and stay organized and stay disciplined and develop a strong mind that has clear capacity for envisioning and visualization and empowerment and seeing yourself as a winner and crossing the finish line, so to speak. These are mental techniques, but of course that also depends on indomitable willpower, just an absolute infinite amount of willpower, a deep well of infinite willpower that you can draw on, draw on, draw on when times get tough. And when times get tough, the tough get deeply spiritual and connected with their soul and their heart. I know you were going to say something else. This is a new way to think about it. So, this is absolutely essential whether you're an athlete of the body, of the mind, or of the spirit, or hopefully all three, because when you become an athlete of the spirit first and foremost, and then an athlete of the mind, and an athlete of the willpower, and an athlete of open, clear, empathic, kind emotions, you will also then be able to be an athlete of the physical body as well, and pull them all together and unify them. Where? Here in the heart. This is quite essential for all of us on the planet to the level of which we're capable and interested in intending to become. Because, yeah, let's face it, so the boat's rocking a bit on the planet here and being metaphorical here with the economy and the recession and overt materialism and people aren't happy and there's more conflicts in communities and of course within yourself and then in the world. Let's face it, we have to be honest about what's going on. Let's do something about it. Some of the greatest athletes of the spirit, which have been and will be other ongoing videos, will be people like Jesus, Buddha. We've done some on Yogananda and Vivekananda you might like to look at. I have done Rabia, but there are others. I'll be doing Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and Kuan Yin and so on. However, we can look at historical well-known men and women like Mother Teresa and many others, certainly Martin Luther King Jr. and Gandhi and Tolstoy, and most recently Nelson Mandela, peace be with him as he journeys into his next phase of evolution. How do you create indomitable courage and champion yourself in a time when morals and ethics are on the wane, integrity and honesty between people and in the business world is really kind of doubtful at the best, and how do you read other people, and who are you going to look to in order to find a great mentor that you can look up to in terms of nobility of spirit? We're talking about nobility of soul and spirit and mind and will and goodness, people who are kind and good and empathic with other people, people that you want to be around, that you're magnetized to be around. Well, hopefully you will find some in your life. And in the meantime, I suggest you become one yourself. That's the key to all this. If you're not feeling it, nobody else is going to. And the noble people of the world will always follow the noblest spirit that they can find, which is why we look up to Bob Marley, Martin Luther King Jr., and also, of course, Nelson Mandela more recently. Might you be able to become a man and a woman like one of those in your own particular, intuitive, instinctual, unique way? Well, I say yes to that. I can imagine that the world would be a very different place when you become all you can be and become an athlete of the spirit. Become a noble person, a kind person. These are values that have been around for a while. The sense of the Arthurian notion of nobility, the noble, kind person who can always be there for someone else and serve other people. The joy is in serving other people and blessing them. Now, you know what? It's going to take a lot for all of us to stand strong in this world. There'll be people who try to pull us down. There'll be people who try to befriend us for scamming reasons and so on. As you develop your intuitional intelligence and your emotional intelligence, and certainly all those two come when you develop your spiritual intelligence. That's key and foundational and foremost before you can develop any other kind of intelligence, including physiological body intelligence and strength. So find out who you are. Find out your truest identity as a soul united with the source, the one source of all that is in the universe, in the cosmos, and here on earth and inside your heart. It's a consciousness that you can simply open to. Just open the doors and let that knowledge come back to you. As the Buddha says, learning about who you are is just remembering your highest, best, and greatest self. I wish you all good luck on all of this. To all our athletes worldwide who are going to the Sochi Olympics in 2014, the Winter Games. But remember, every one of us is involved in the spiritual Olympics, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. That's what it means to be human and even divinely human. It can be a lot of fun. Don't take yourselves too seriously. Have some fun playing with this, but do be sincere. And do be ruthless in your attention to developing all the great skill sets of courage that you can have and be and you will need in life in all endeavors, whether it's in sports, business, personal relationships, or just your sense of well-being and self-worth. All blessings and love to you. Lots of light in your path, lots of strength and courage. Till I see you again, Dr. Joseph Martin, in, out, inwards, onwards, and upwards. Together. Cheers.